All right, peace, y'all. Hope everybody is having a good day. It's been a minute since we've been live. We've been rather busy on every day is busy though, but it is what it is. You don't grow without being busy, so we've been quite busy on our end. But it is a pleasure to be here amongst you, presenting you this live. Um, let's dive straight into it. Over the last, I don't know, last 6 or 7 months, we have had a significant growth in our follow account, especially on other platforms outside of Instagram. Current date, Instagram is probably our strongest platform, but there are other platforms that we've been simultaneously growing out at the same time. So now we're live streaming on three platforms. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, and we have Instagram that we're live streaming. Over the last 6 or 7 months, we have seen a significant increase in our Facebook account, our Facebook followers. We went from 3,000 followers all the way to 127,000 followers, all organically over the last 6 to 7 months on Facebook alone. Um, it makes, well, I'm proud of that because that says to us what? That says that people are resonating with the message. And overall, this is why we do this, so people can resonate with the message and so more people can participate in this space. Overall, that's been our whole push since we started speaking about what we do on social media. We were minding our own business, doing our own business. We've been investing in land for the past 8 years. But since we've been in the teaching capacity, I'm proud to say that the message have been well received amongst the community, amongst the culture. This is a huge thing to us. Truly, me taking myself, us taking ourselves out of the equation, this is a message that we feel needs to be prevalent. It needs to be heard. It needs to be loud. It needs to be boisterous. It needs to be pushed. All right. So over the last 6 to 7 months, we've had an increase. They said you can't hear. Can you hear me better? Can anybody hear? Am I too low? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I hear someone said they cannot hear. Talk to me. Y'all write in the chat if you can hear me. All right. I believe I'm loud enough. Y'all talk to me if you can hear me. Put it in the chat. I don't want to continue. I can hear you. Yes, clearly. So whoever that is that couldn't hear me, just turn up the volume on your phone or go to a more quiet place. I'll continue on. So as I was stating, I'm super proud that this is being well received because we all know the importance of land ownership. We all know that this space is something that can move the needle. We were prevalent in this space at one point in time, years and years ago. We owned a lot of land. We owned a lot of farmland. Over the years, the things that they told you wasn't cool was for a reason. That was to push you further and further away from this space, away from the thing that actually matters. You cannot build a city. You cannot have a skyscraper. You cannot do all of these things that they have went on to do, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Dubai, whether you're anywhere living on this planet called Earth. You must have a piece of land to do all of this building, to all of the housing, all of the subdivision, all of this stuff. And this is why they push you away from this message. So you won't be an active participant in this. So you won't have, we are probably the only culture that don't have a place to call home, a place that we call our own. China has Chinatown, right? They have every other, you name it, they have a place that they go. Where does this culture go? What does this culture have that we can go to and say that's ours? And when we did build it, we know what has happened. When we built something, they destroyed it, and that was further to keep you away, to further push you away from this message. They don't want you to be in ownership of land. It equals power. He who holds and controls the land says what goes on the land, says who lives in that area, says what's going to happen in that area, right? So this message, share it with a friend. Share the Acre Boyzz story with a friend. Take us out the equation. I don't want to sell you. I just want this message to be heard. We'll talk about how you can get involved with what we do. Sure. If you want to run alongside with us and do the business of making money, then if you're the right person, then we'll be happy to assist. We'll be happy to have you. Either way, please do me this favor, and then we'll get into our services. Just share the message. That's the best thing that you can do. Just share the message with somebody about what we're doing and what it could look like. Because we ain't supposed to look like this and have the knowledge that we have about this, right? And we can talk it with the best of them. And why can I talk it with the best of them? Because I come from them. They taught me the game. So we learned the game and brought it to our culture. And this doesn't have anything to do with race. But I'm smart enough to know that if I can help somebody, I'm going to help somebody that resonates with me the most. Who resonates the most with me? Probably, if I was guessing, probably someone that has the same native tongue as me, probably someone that has the same shade of complexion as me. That's probably who I'm going to resonate the most with. We share the same similarities. So I learned from someone else and brought it to this culture so we can all participate because we are stronger together. And if you want to get something done, just follow the footprints that has went before you and emulate it. I know what they do. I've studied them. I studied under them. I have received mentorship under them. So we make it hard on ourselves because we've been trained to be divided. And I'm going to dive into what we offer, but this is just what we're dealing with. This is just what we're up against. And the reason I say share the message is because Tupac had it, and I may not get this quote all the way right, but I know he says something to the effect of, I may not be the one to change things, but I will be the one to spark the mind of the person that will change it. And that's all we're trying to do. And that's why we like talking to the youth, because the youth is the future. If this catches fire, like the hip hop message catches fire, what if you had a group of young boys that was interested in buying land, interested in learning how they could build on the land, interested into heavy machinery, how they can clear land, and interested in everything in this space that it offers? Where would we be headed to? Instead of interested in going to the studio. And yes, I can speak about the industry, the hip hop industry, because I come from that as well. So just as hard as we fight to be in sports and entertainment, what if we were going back to learning a trade? Like our Hispanic brothers and sisters, trade. They know how to build. They know how to always go out and create an income for themselves. They took the trades out of our school, so now we don't know nothing but sports and entertainment. Let's get back to some things that we can actually implement immediately, that we don't have to wait till we hit or lucky enough to be drafted or to be chosen or my record to take off, because now you're playing in a super crowded space and it's like hitting the lotto. Each and every one of us have the chance to go and take some money and invest in a property. And if we were smart, you'll do it together, because crowdfunding, and we'll pause there, because crowdfunding is really how you move the needle a lot faster, because that's what the other coaches are doing. They don't buy skyscrapers by themselves. This is group fund that buys it. That's how that works. You can't continue to be divided, right? And we'll start on investing. First and foremost, this is investing, right? When I first started investing, when we first got into land investing, I was just so excited to be on an entrepreneurial journey. And I remember vividly saying to Jay, my partner, and saying, I don't understand why everybody doesn't take this journey or why everybody isn't an entrepreneur. I didn't get it at first. And as we grew, I clearly, loud and clearly get it. I don't recommend, me, myself personally, I don't recommend and being an entrepreneur for everybody. It's tough. Everybody is not built to be in investments. That may be harsh to hear, but that's just the truth. Everybody think that they want to make a lot of money. With a lot of money comes a lot of responsibility. This is just the truth. I'm just telling, I'm speaking from this is personal experience. There's a lot of responsibility with entrepreneurship. There's a lot of responsibility with making the kind of money that you think you want to make. Are you willing to do the things that it takes to make the kind of money that you want to make? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to forget everything you thought you knew and to relearn at the age you're at? Know that you don't know, because if you knew, you would have been doing it. Right? Are you willing to be smarter with your finances? Are you willing to save? Because we've mastered how to spend. Are you willing to have the necessary cutbacks to move forward? Because sometimes in the beginning, you have to lose in order to win. There will be some setbacks in order to move forward. Everyone wants to start at the top. Doesn't work like that. And this is how it works in investing. Investing takes patience. Investing takes time. Investment takes wisdom. Investments take partnerships. It's a lot of things that go into being a successful investor. But guess what? We all start on the same playing field, and we all have the same opportunity. It's what we do with the opportunities. And timing is everything in every investment. Most of us, we're afraid to be bad long enough before we turn good. We didn't start as the Acre Boyzz. We didn't start as being good land investors and having all the knowledge that we have at this point. It took time. We're 8 years in, and I still feel like we're rather new. I still feel brand new and like there's so much to conquer. So now you have this huge following, and wow, y'all, it's cool, it's nice, but we're just getting started. All right, so some of the services that the Acre Boyzz per se provide, because we get a lot of people that contact us with a lot of different things. So I want to talk about what's directly in our wheelhouse. Directly in our wheelhouse is we run a program. The program is called Land and Legacy. The program is designed to do two things: generate income, show you how to generate income through land investing, or go after properties for discounted prices. That's it. Let's just simplify it. We're going to show you how to make money through investing in land, or we're going to show you how to get land or properties at a discounted price. That is it. There's other branches that we have, and there's plenty of knowledge that we have about other things, but we want to just stay focused, hyper-focused on what's in our wheelhouse. When we focus on land, we want to start as new investors. If you've never done any land investing, the easiest place for a new person is not to start with a family compound. It's not to start coming out the gate saying, I want to do a subdivision. I would say start modest, learn the language, learn the paperwork, see a deal or two through all the way. so you will be comfortable with investing. Start slow is what I recommend. When I say start slow, I recommend that you start with tax deed investing if the budget is limited. Ray, where should we start? We get asked that question all the time. I want to invest. I don't know where you should start. We recommend that we start based on your budget. What's your budget that you have in place to start? Because I don't want to tell you to start with going after a 10 acre and you can't afford a 10 acre. I want you to start where you're comfortable with investing. So tax deed investing, we've done a great job at finding some of the least expensive places for new investors to get started. What is tax deed investing? By the way, this may be a long live because we're going to cover a lot of things. All right. This may be a long live. So what is tax deed investing? Tax deed investing is when every homeowner, whether you own a property, whether you own a piece of land, you're responsible for paying taxes on those properties. When you don't pay the taxes on the property, the county or the state will come in, they'll put a lien on the property. Eventually, they'll foreclose on the property. County or the state will then become the owner of the property. County or the state don't want to be the owner of the properties, but because the county or the state, they want the property in the ecosystem collecting taxes because this is how every county across the country works, off of taxes. So what do? They sell it back. Who do they sell it back to? The general public. Who's the general public? Me, you. Why don't we participate? We don't. One of three things. Why we don't participate in these daily auctions that go on all year long. We don't participate. One, we don't know. Lack of knowledge. Two, lack of money. Three, fear. Those are the top three things that we found why this culture or race is not participating in these things. That's going to happen whether you participate or whether you don't participate. We're just saying it may be smarter to participate to give yourself an alternative avenue to make money. This is what we're talking about, picking up a new skill set. How bad do you want to change your circumstances? How bad do you want to change your finances? Are you willing to pick up a new skill set? Are you willing to say, I know I don't know much about that industry, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to stick with it until I get good? Because if you take a former garbage man in my partner, or if you take a former stagehand in myself, these are blue collar jobs. And if we were good enough or smart enough to stick with it and get good at it, so can you. We don't have Harvard degrees. We just got good at something that we studied. And we started the same place that you started from. We all have had a first day. So don't let this be overwhelming to you because you don't know. The best thing that you can do is know that you don't know and be willing to learn. And once you learn it, you have it. This is something that you can keep with you. This is not a new model. This is old. This has been going on for a long time. Other people have been taking advantage of these auctions for a long, long time. That's all I'm saying. How do I know it? Because 8 years ago, when I first stepped into the tax deed space, I was buying land for $50. And it blew me away. $50? Now, we all come from somewhere. I come from an urban area, right? You follow me where I'm going. You know the things that happen in urban areas. Now, you tell me if I could have bought a piece of property for $50, immediately my mind starts thinking like the neighborhood. I took the Frank Lucas approach and I said for $50, I'm going to outbeat everybody on the prices that I'm selling them for. So we bought for $50. Properties we were selling anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500. I didn't care what you offered me for my $50 property. You could have offered me $700. Sold. It's yours. $800. Sold. It's yours. And I did do that. I sold them from anything that they offered me because I was only $50 into the property. Now, the point of the whole story is we got in at the right time. That's why when opportunity knocks, we tell you you have to answer the door, because things may change, and they have changed. $50 buys are not running around on a regular basis these days. They're just not. Why? Because the place that we were buying them from, and I'll tell you where I bought them from. I bought them from Arkansas. There were properties in Little Rock, Arkansas, and that was considered the murder capital at one point in America. And those properties were selling like hotcakes. So don't let people tell you that buying in a bad area is the wrong thing to do, because that's not true. Opportunity, when it is there, you have to answer the door, or you'll just miss out. Let's just call it for what it is. Time will go by, these auctions will happen, and you'll be in your same position. That's why we say, how bad do you really want to change your circumstances? So tax deed investing is a great place to start if you have a limited budget. All right. Inside of our program, we give you these places. We train you on these places. We train you how to review these places, right? We practically hand it to you on a silver platter. It's up to you to study it. Information on us, execution on you. Invest when you're comfortable with investing. In fact, we take it a step further. We recommend that when you're a new investor, if you have properties, bring it to us first before you put any money behind it and pull the trigger. We don't want anyone losing money, especially that comes through my program. Why is that? Because we know how we are as a culture. If you lose money with my program, you go tell the next person, Acre Boyzz didn't know what the hell they was talking about. And we're big on our reputation that we have created thus far. I would like to keep it that way. So if it doesn't work out for you, you won't be able to say that you wasn't informed on what to do and how to do it, because we definitely lay it out and spell it out for you on how to participate, how to locate, how to evaluate, and how to invest in this space. And we have a ton of experience behind that. All right. So that's why we're big on the education, because I've had people come to us with bad deals. Oh, I bought this from an auction. Well, you shouldn't have bought that piece. It's not a good piece. I've had people bring me landlocked properties. I've had people bought me wet properties. I have people bought me properties out in the middle of nowhere, and they just thought that it was a good property for the price. There's all kinds of scenarios. Ray, you said invest in rural properties. Well, rural markets have to have motion. Even if you're investing in rural markets, you need to invest in a rural market that has motion. Yesterday, I had a buyer contact me. He wanted to sell me a piece of property out in a rural area. It was a 20-acre piece of property in a rural area. I pulled the location up. I did my homework on the area, and absolutely nothing was going on in that area. And I was getting it at a really good price. But what can I do with a property that has no movement, no motion, nowhere around in the area? That is not a good buy for us. So these are some of the things that we teach you when dealing with this. So you heard me saying this live that it's okay to buy in a bad area. You heard me saying this live, study rural markets that has motion. So same thing that applies to a bad area. Buy in a bad area that has motion. Don't buy in a bad area that has no motion. This is common sense. It's a bad area, one. Two, there's no motion. You won't make money. Bad area, it has motion, you'll make money. All right. The second thing that we do is something that's called direct to owner. Direct to owner, we can make a lot of money in direct to owner. It is exactly what it says. We go directly to landowners in any given county at any given time, and we go after any acreage size that we like with direct to owner. This is where we make bulk money, ranging from the low ends, 8,000 all the way up to couple of $100,000 a deal. Just depends on what you locate, what you find, what you take down. And there's no limit to how many deals you can get done. There's no limit on how many you can do with tax deed investing as well. It depends on your budget. Now, as it pertains to our direct to owner program, this is where we offer funding. This is where you can get someone to put the money up for you, whether that's the Acre Boyzz, whether that's one of our investors, whether that's a community member. This is where someone will put the money up for your land and they'll partner with you for 50-50. So we took all the excuses off the table. I don't want to hear, Ray, I don't have the money, because we provide the money for it. Only thing we won't provide money for is your education. Right? Unfortunately, this is not like going to college and there's financial aid. We don't have financial aid for you. So you will have to find a way to come up with the money for the education. We recommend that if you don't at least have the money for the education, we recommend that you pause right there and that you build up or save up for what you're trying to do. This is still real estate. So a lot of people think that they can dive in without having some backing. You will need some provision for your vision. All right. Then when we go on direct to owner, per se, like I'm working now, working in a hot market, right? I don't recommend that new people that you come out working in a hot market. When I say a hot market, I'm working Fulton County. Fulton County is where Atlanta is. That is one of the hottest markets in the country. I'm working that area now. I don't recommend that new people do it. I'm working the area. Am I having success? Somewhat. My campaign has just started. I'm looking, I got 2 deals back so far. It's not the easiest thing to do in these hottest markets, but in a hot market, and we'll give you all the game. I'll give you the game on the live. It really doesn't make me a difference because you won't stop anything that I'm doing. All right. Even in a hot market, even in Fulton County, what you have to do is you have to offer more money. You have to be able to speak. You have to know what you're talking about once you make contact with these sellers. Usually in a hot market like Fulton County, you're going to deal or run into or encounter more savvy sellers. They're going to know more about the land industry than a rural market. They don't own this land in such a hot market and don't know anything about it. That's why we say we recommend new people. You don't play in such a hot market because this may overwhelm you. They can smoke out when you don't know what you're talking about. They can smoke out when you're timid in your conversation. You have to be firm. You have to know what you're talking about so you could get a deal done. So if we're working Fulton County, so far, 2 deals has come across in Fulton County. And that's an extremely hot market. We recommend you start out in a rural market, a slower market. In a rural market, you can offer less. Difference between rural markets, hot markets. Most people are unaware that rural markets can yield some of the same money. Clearly, if you're in a hot market and you land the same kind of deal, which one you're going to make more money with? The hottest market. But it's harder to find those kind of same deals in those hot markets. Rural markets, if we're looking for larger acreage, it's going to be easier in a rural market. It'd be tough for me to come into Fulton County and say I'm looking to find a 40 acre. It makes sense? I can, but it's easier on the outskirts. Outskirts, no restrictions. Inside the city limits, restrictions. That's good when we acquire the land because we want to know what to do with the land. If it has restrictions, city is going to tell us what could be done. No restrictions, do whatever you want to do. Place a mobile home, burn fire, do whatever you like to do. What sells the best for us? No restrictions. For us, they all sell. So once you get in, you get the education, you start to craft out what sells best and what works for you. You may want to have just go after properties that's designed for mobile homes. You may just want to go after properties that you could sell to builders. You may just go after properties that's large acreage. Some people may just want to deal with small acreage. Some people may just want to do the business to get their own land for their own family. I don't know what your needs are. That's why we started off by saying this is designed just to show you how to get it at a discounted price. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a Q&A session tomorrow. I know it's short notice. If you're on this live, you're hearing it first. We're going to set up a Q&A tomorrow, a complimentary Q&A. Why do I use the word complimentary, right? Because I don't like the word free, and I don't like people that look for things for free. Nothing's free. It'll take my time, my effort, and my energy even to do the call. So I use the word complimentary, right? Meaning that you don't have to pay finances to attend the call. So we'll set up a free call or complimentary call. Tap, tap. Don't use that word. We'll set up a complimentary call tomorrow. I suggest that if you have questions about anything you heard tonight, if you have questions about anything about the land space, I suggest that you show up. Putting yourself in the right rooms around the right information, especially when it's complimentary, will serve you if you're interested in anything that we offer or anything that you heard on this call. That'll serve you best. What I want you to do is text the number on the screen. Let me see. I'm checking to see if my team gave me a keyword that I can share with you. I don't have a keyword yet. So text that number, 313-930-8483, and ask, say, I'm looking to get the link for the complimentary call. And someone will send you back the link for the call. Show up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have your questions ready to go. Me and my partner will be on that call, and we'll be taking questions for about an hour, right? Our complimentary call. Sometimes they go over. Sometimes we start to explore other things, but we try to keep them to an hour. We want to be respectful, not only of my time, but of your time as well. So we'll try to keep it to about an hour and show up. This makes sense to you. Hopefully we can help. But text that number, 313-930-8483. Y'all have been really, really great. What's coming down the pipeline for us? InvestFest is coming up. We will be at InvestFest this year. We decided not to do a booth this year. We've done a booth the last 2 years, but we will be in attendance and we will be floating around InvestFest. We will be branded. We'll have our Acre Boyzz shirt on and our Acre Boyzz hat. So you'll be able to, if you don't unfamiliar with us, what we personally look like, you will see us branded. If you see us and you're going or you're planning to be at InvestFest, say hi, say we're friendly, we're cordial. Make sure you say what's up to us and we'll be there. I believe we may have something going on at 19 Keys booth that we're still working out. If that goes on, you can catch us at his booth. And we'll be talking about what we normally talk about: land ownership, the importance of land ownership, how you can get involved. All right. That's coming up. We're moving towards something that I'm happy about. We've been talking behind the scenes about putting together a dollar community. So we're pushing that out. We're pushing out a dollar community. Why a dollar community, right? The dollar community is going to be a platform that we can service and share with our followers things that we normally don't share on social media. We can't share everything on social media. We get people that contact us and say, I have some land that I don't know what to do with it. I have some land that I want to sell. These are all deals that just get sent to us. These are things that we can put in front of you, but I can't put this all over social media, right? But we could put this in a private room where we have private conversations at. And we only want to charge $1. That is pretty much free, right? So we're building out our dollar community, and there'll be daily topics that we drop. I won't say daily. I'm not telling you 7 days a week, but we will have at least, 3 to 4 touches in that room a week. We'll be posting properties that we have for sale. We'll be posting properties that active members have for sale. So you'll be able to see these properties and hear about these properties before anybody else. You'll be able to dive in there and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Hey, I'm looking to do this. Hey, I have a question here. Each person will have their own profile. So dollar community. And that's pretty much us saying thank you for being with us. Thank you for being a loyal follower. And in order for us to move forward, in order for us to continue to grow, in order for us to do things on a high level, this requires provision, right? It truly does. It requires provision. So we say $1 won't kill anybody. Well, it shouldn't. And it'll be a really good room. Ebooks, you have access to a lot of things in that dollar community. So that's coming down the pipeline. Look out for that. As of now, join the live Q&A tomorrow. Text 313-930-8483. Someone will send you over the link. Show up tomorrow. We'll be there live answering questions. And tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. Help us spread this message about land ownership, the importance of land ownership, and so on and so forth. That's my time for this evening. I have another call in 2 hours, and I'm going to take a break. So y'all been good. Hope this was helpful to somebody. Peace. Love.